Good evening, everyone. I've realised why I'm looking so washed out. My ring light's not on. I tell you, me and technology, not the closest of friends. No understanding of what I'm doing. Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm going to move this barbecue sauce packet because I'm offended by its existence. Welcome. Welcome to what will be the Raw Watch party for the go-home show of WWE Summerslam 2021. I'm your host. I'm Tom Collihue. I'll be watching as much of Raw as I can definitely stand, and which will hopefully be all of it. Hopefully, all of it. We are currently live on both Twitch and YouTube. Dean says hi. Welcome, Dean. How you doing, mate? And Bailey says, hi, Tom. Quite a show earlier this evening. Yes, Bailey, you are absolutely correct. I do apologise for the fact that with the raid that I got, I did sort of lose track of the Rumour Look Back and the Raw preview. But yeah, that was a big moment for me. And the thing is, if I use the example of looking at the stream summary, so I can look at a summary of the stream, and essentially what it does is it looks at just how good the stream was without factoring in raid audience. My average viewership without a raid of more than 100 people was 43. 43 is still incredible. Absolutely incredible. We had an average viewership of 43, not factoring in a raid that pushed us up briefly to 161. 161. So you're damn right it was a good show earlier. Thank you, Bailey. Michael is here saying, hi, Tom. Welcome, Michael. Glad to see you. Dean said Monday Night Raw was okay. It hasn't started yet, Dean, so I have questions on that one. Moxie says, hi. Welcome, Moxie. Glad to see you back. And he says SummerSlam will be good. SummerSlam is promising a lot so far. And honestly, I'm excited by that. I've also, for people who only watch on YouTube, I've also tweaked and adjusted my webcam. And I look a hell of a lot better, don't I? I really do look a hell of a lot better. Look a lot less washed out. You know? I look less horrible. I've already got a downvote on the YouTube video. How'd that happen? Bloody hell. The love I don't get, I tell you. But no matter. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone. Tonight is Raw. We're going Raw. Tonight should be Bobby Lashley and Goldberg getting into it because it's about bloody time. They've been dancing around each other, doing this little mating dance the whole time. It's about time for them to actually just start beating the crap out of each other. Thank you, Dean, for liking the video. Appreciate that. It is a big help to me. Anyone watching on YouTube, if you click like on the video, it is a big help in my growth. So thank you, Dean. Welcome, the user, as well. Hello, mate, to you too. Moxie says, 311 followers. Let's go, Tom Collihue. I had 286 earlier. 286. We gained 25 followers on Twitch today, and also 5 on YouTube. The person who raided me, John Robertson, is a comedian whose show I very much enjoyed last night. I've had a really good couple of days. Now, I am about to watch WWE Raw, which doesn't automatically make an improvement. But hey, we'll see. Moxie says, you're growing. I am. I definitely am. Raw should be okay today. I hope so, mate. I hope so. I can't see any reason it would be bad. I genuinely can't. But then again, disappointment is something you get used to when you watch Raw. I don't know. I'm not optimistic. I'm optimistic going into SmackDown, but not Raw. Hello, Ethan. How are you, mate? Looking good there. Sasha Banks with the championship. Always a good thing. The user says, do you think there'll be any shocks or surprises at SummerSlam? I did talk earlier on in spoiler warning about the possibility of Becky Lynch arriving at SummerSlam. That's a video that will go live on YouTube tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time. So you might want to wait for that one and see what news I've got. And Moxie says, just last week you had 277, now 311. It's a huge increase. And guess what just happened? This program contains flashing images. And then it crashes. Wonderful. Wonderful. I know it's not my internet. I'm actively streaming. It's not the internet. It is a BT Sport app. One day, I'll have enough money that I can actually live comfortably and I won't have to deal with this anymore. It'll be great. It'll be great. One day. One day. For those keeping an eye on the new PC fund, we're currently at $224, which is pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Roy's opening with a video package of Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, which is always a sign of things to come. I sense a great foreboding. A great foreboding. But yes, Moxie, things are doing very, very well right now. I'm feeling very happy with progress. Considering I'm on, month 8? My average viewership is skyrocketing. Spoiler warning, was already breaking records even before we had the raid. And yes, Dean, this is the Danger Mouse shirt. Got a lot of love for this earlier as well. I'm glad you like it too. I'm going to move where my head is slightly. That's better. That's much better. But yes, a Danger Mouse shirt. This will be good because I genuinely didn't watch the end of Raw last night. Not last night, last week. When I went to bed, I genuinely went to bed. And I didn't watch Raw afterwards. I didn't catch up. Tonight, I would definitely expect we're going to get this tag team title match formally booked. Naturally not going to be a surprise to anyone, but I got no issue with it. See, because I didn't watch the end last week, I actually am happy to have this recap now. It's not often I say that, as you guys know. I can't get over the facial hair. A phenomenal forearm into an RKO. They tried for so long to get the Springboard 450 into an RKO. Never worked, but they tried. Got to give them some credit for it. Ethan says, doing good, mate. Just concerned about his BS about Sasha and Sasha versus Belair being cancelled. Apart from great, also still recovering from COVID, which sucks. Glad you're recovering at least, mate. It can be a really rough time. A really rough time, and I know that. So I hope you're okay. As regards Sasha and Bianca, I really think it's a lot of people making a big deal out of nothing. I really do. Dean says, Brock, Becky return as SummerSlam rumors. Yeah, where have these rumors come from? Because I tell you what, it's nobody who knows anything. I did see that, Moxie. Thank you. As the show goes on, I'll be making sure to send some retweets as well. The show is opening Randy Orton. Despite the popularity of Matt Riddle, he still gets a massive pop despite the attack last week. Oh, there's a boo. I'm not sure how much of that is real. The second week in a row we're opening with Randy Orton. I think it's possible we get Orton versus Lashley soon. Especially if we don't get a new tag champ out of him. If the plan just ends up being Orton versus Riddle at SummerSlam, would you be annoyed? I wouldn't really. Moxie says, what is most likely now, Roman versus Brock or Bobby versus Brock if Brock returns? Roman versus Brock. Brock does not want to face Bobby. Be very clear on that. He says, Miz versus Morrison, please. Don't see it. Morrison signed his contract knowing full well he'd been a tag team with The Miz, and he signed his contract because that is exactly what he wanted. I see a Jeff Hardy sign. Keith Lee was in a dark match for anyone who doesn't know. Keith Lee was in a dark match. Ed is joining us saying, hey, how was the editing? I actually got it done. And was able to put a little tiny clip onto Twitter, which I don't think anyone was quite ready for, but I did manage to do it. Moxie, once again, you have no idea if that's the case. No idea. Roman right now would, but we could be talking 2-3 years in the future. Megan, welcome back, saying, I still wish Goldberg and Lashley was career versus title. I respect that you say that every week, because every week I agree. What happened to Randy Orton's forehead? That's a pretty big welt. Oh, agreed. Brock versus this Roman could definitely be interesting. We never saw Roman as the guy standing on top. Roman was always the underdog. I don't think that's the case in this instance. Yes, you are. Well played. Yes, you are. Okay, he's starting a standard Randy Orton promo. Welcome, Corey. Very glad to see you. And Mara says, Tom, I've heard WWE said in its earnings call they said they want to do a Saturday pay-per-view schedule. To be fair, SummerSlam is Saturday, and if it works out, the plan is to continue doing so. It might work out better. It means people are going to be rushing home a little bit less. They can afford to have some longer shows. Certainly possible. It says, Heyman in a shark cage as Brock comes back to make Roman pay. Oh, you're very excited, aren't you? Bless you. Dean said they have predictions. Cesaro comes to Raw because I haven't seen him on SmackDown. I have predicted this myself as well. I do think he needs it. Cesaro versus Orton is long overdue. Like a proper feud. We had that boo at the beginning, but it's looking even more plastic now that Randy Orton's getting the responses that he's getting from the crowd right now. Randy's sort of reclaiming Raw tonight. Nobody seems to know whether to say Omos or Omas. People say different things. Not sure where this is coming from, Mario. You're on the wrong show, mate. That's SmackDown. That's a SmackDown show. Megan says, Cesaro versus anyone, honestly, is mint and should be on TV more. For those who don't know, mint means good. He's good. Randy Orton sharing information from his sources about Amos. Literally, as you arrive as well, Dylan. Came into Rick Boogs' hate. Come on, people. Boogs for life. It's like they knew you were coming. Even said, I hate when people spread BS around, even though it's not really true. Bugs me. Did everyone see and enjoy the ringside news story today? I caught that after I came off the show. And my word, was that hilarious. DMing a guy to say, you're a liar. What dickheads. Hey, Corey. Thank you very much for dropping over to the YouTube and clicking like on the video. I really do appreciate that. For anyone who doesn't know, a like on the YouTube video helps the YouTube channel grow, helps me find new subscribers, and that naturally helps me find more people who might want to come over to Twitch as well. So it's a win-win for pretty much everyone. And I very much appreciate you doing that for me, Corey. Megan says, Booze also falls under the category of mint. I'd imagine he'd be so proud of that. He'd be so proud. Dean says, if I was in the audience, I would boo Berg. I wouldn't boo him. I just wouldn't anything him, which is more insulting. Neil says, what's up? Welcome, Nicholas. How you doing, mate? We've come off the back of a really good spoiler warning. We're now watching Raw. Matt Riddle has just come down. And he's basically just going to forgive Randy Orton for the RKO, which is very fitting with character. Thank you, Dylan. Appreciate that. Also love the picture. Mara says, I say because I say Rick Boogs was the reason Nakamura's not been my favorite as of late. I still love him personally. That's the beauty of different opinions. Megan says, I've stayed off Twitter for the most part today, been a nice little bubble running around France. Nice. Well done, you. You're having a great time out there. Whereabouts in France are you? Also, you're right to stay off Twitter. I find the less time I spend on Twitter, the happier I am. It's the general rule. You had me there. I thought you were on holiday somewhere. Boo. I want to go on holiday at some point before I die. That'd be great. That'd be wonderful. So good. Okay, so it's Randy versus Omos tonight. And Riddle is basically just saying, no, but let's tag anyway. All over again. I respect the gumption. Randy will get used to being partner. That would be cool. That would be cool. A raid from Randy Orton would certainly make a big difference if he had a Twitch. That'd be lovely. AJ Styles is on his way down. And honestly, we're at a point now where this is the exact same promo from last week. Which I think I'll tweet. Because why the hell not? No. Okay, I saw where that was going and I liked it. I mean, I always like AJ Styles is going like, yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. It was great. Right. You love Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sammy as a team. I much prefer face Nakamura personally. Don't even have a valid passport anymore. Barely leave my house. Same. I go for walks on my break from work. That's basically it. Turd. Rude. Michael says, Twitter and their Sasha gave Bianca COVID is irritating. All I can do is DM and not scroll through the timeline. Yeah, dodge the timeline because that's bullshit. That is some full-on bullshit. Megan says, that's a good shade of blue on the Tron. Doesn't hurt my eyes. That's nice. That's nice. Mine too, Dylan. Mine too. It's a whole lot of people trying to act like they're the first person to share an Instagram screenshot. Bless them. They're trying to act like they got it first. They're acting like they've got the scoop when they don't. Cesaro versus Keith. That could be fun. That'd be a good match. Dylan says, truly wild times. It is. You wait for Friday. You just wait for Friday. My YouTube video about CM Punk soared. It did very well. I do not know what you're talking about there, Ed. Can you enlighten me? That's Shang-Chi. Looks like we're going to get Styles versus Riddle to open the show, which is cool. I don't think Riddle's winning this match. Dylan says they get to go to the Dynamite after Friday. If Punk's there on Friday, he's definitely going to be there on Monday, I'll tell you that. Definitely say that. Yes, Megan, it's the years he's signed deals. That's exactly it. If the third one is a deal signed. Now, I was saying, I released a video on Sunday making it clear that CM Punk at that time had not signed. Looks like today he has. Oh, you're hyped. You're hyped. And so you should be. So you should be. CM Punk. CM Punk. Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Well played, Ed. I was not aware of it. I know the name Shang-Chi, but I'm not particularly familiar with the character. That said, that's true of most of the Marvel characters that I'm now very familiar with. So I'll certainly be checking it out. But honestly, when I see the Legend of the Ten Rings, I always think of Sonic the Hedgehog, which would be cool. Dean would like to see Cesaro versus Brock. I don't see it. I think Cesaro is falling down the pecking order by quite a bit. Baylor said, did the dates include his UFC signing? They did not. It was his first WWE contract, his second WWE contract, and this year. Dylan says, I mean, I bought the tickets over a year ago when the show was first announced. Not like I brought them under the pretense Punk was coming. Yeah, but that basically makes you more of a winner. Let's be honest. Tom, Jimmy Smith, I imagine that's Tom Phillips. Jimmy Smith or Adnan Virk, who do you think is a better fit for Raw? If the question is just Jimmy Smith or Adnan Virk, then I think Jimmy Smith is a better fit. Adnan Virk didn't really know what he was doing, to be entirely blunt. But if the option is Tom Phillips, then the option will always be Tom Phillips, and I will always say Tom Phillips. So that opening promo was average. Like, it was average. The only thing I can really say as regards it was average. That said, we're opening with Styles versus Riddle, which surely is going to be a great match. Surely that's going to be a great match and well worth the watching. Big thanks to everyone who did pop over to YouTube to click like on the video. I've now got 8 likes, which is always a very good number. Thank you. I wonder if the match will have started when we get back. Usually not, but, you know, see what you can get. How is everyone? How's everyone doing? Ooh, there's crap. Drama. Megan says there's a lot of crap because one of the head people at Disney basically said they were going to use the Shang-Chi release as an experiment because it's not going to be on Premier Access. Simu Liu, who plays Shang-Chi, was pissed at this because it's basically been a one-man promo machine for this film. And yeah, it's coming out basically for free. Well, yeah, I'd imagine there'll be drama in that. Disney have been getting certain films and certain promotions very, very wrong. Thank you very much for the follow, Mr. _Impact Craig. Welcome, Craig, or Mr. Impact, whatever you prefer. Welcome to the chat. By all means, shout out and let people know. You want to say hi, ask whatever questions you'd like, or lurk if you would rather lurk. Welcome. Toxic Predator is here again, saying hi, Tom. Welcome, Toxic Predator. Glad to see you. And Mario says Jimmy Smith was the UFC commentator who does well for Raw. I agree. Noobie's here as well, saying hello. Megan, I would like to ask you a question. What did you make of the new Mulan? Even if we forget all of the, horror that is happening right now in certain sections of the world in which a lot of it was filmed, what did you make of the new Mulan as a Disney film on its own standing? Megan said it's only going to be in cinemas, and there's been next to no promo for it besides a few poster releases. Yeah, I forgot that it was happening. I completely forgot. But I might go to the cinema tomorrow just because I still haven't watched new Suicide Squad. I've got time. Craig says, hello. Hello, Craig. Welcome. Glad to see you, mate. If you have any questions, we are Ask Me Anything streams. So we're watching Raw, but you can ask whatever the hell you would like, and I will endeavor to answer as best I can. And BT Sports is crashing him. Corey says, can't tell you full details yet, Tom, but expect some big things happening leading into SummerSlam. Internally mailed to send of a lot of interesting things. Sounds cool. Sounds very cool. I am hearing a lot of, SummerSlam's going to be huge. These big things are going to happen at SummerSlam. We're expecting these big things at SmackDown. I've been hearing it for a long time. So I want to get to it now. I want it to actually happen. Megan says, haven't seen the new Mulan. Part of me doesn't want to tarnish the joy of the original because I love that film. Me too. Mulan is probably my favorite Disney film. So it will be premiere access, but after theatre release for 45 days. I get what they're doing. Mox says, still shocked you got 166 views today, or viewers. So happy, Tom. If I was there in person, I would have thrown a party for you. Well, hopefully in the near future, we'll be getting that many anyway. But yeah, that is a new record, certainly. Our average viewership for the whole stream was 43. 43, a record in its own right, and a number I'm very happy to have. Noob says, are we going to see Karrion Kross tonight? Hopefully more matches with Jeff Hardy. Yes, we are likely to see Jeff Hardy versus Karrion Kross again tonight. Hopefully this should be the last loss. That or tonight will be when Scarlett debuts and they destroy Jeff Hardy. I'd also like that. Craig says, what do you think of Christian Cage becoming champion again? I think he will do better for Impact than Kenny Omega has, even just in appearing. I think he personally has a greater affinity to the show, and Impact in general has a greater affinity to him. So I think it's a very good choice. We've crashed again. Why can't I afford good things? Can we try this one more time? Mega says, I'm trying to prepare myself for this week's What If, because it's T'Challa and I'm probably going to cry. Yeah. Haven't started What If yet. Looking forward to doing so. I'm interested to see what they do with it and the stylistic differences. But yeah, there's going to be a couple of emotional moments. Sorry, there's a problem, BT Sports says. I know that. It's called you. Okay, I'm missing the match so far, guys. As watch-alongs go, BT doesn't seem to agree with me doing so. Thank you very much for the follow, Chloe CJ98. Welcome to the show. We are an Ask Me Anything show. You can ask me whatever you would like. It is largely wrestling-based. We are, after all, watching Raw as we speak. But in addition to that, we also cover basically the whole damn world. So if there's anything else you'd like to ask, you're, of course, welcome to do so. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that. I'm going to have to restart my PS4 because BT Sport is literally just refusing to work. So it might take a moment. I'll just catch up with the chat. It'll all be fine. I would have no issue with that. I mean, it's not something I've ever been asked to do before. But hey, if that's something you want, I have no issue with that. Megan says, last week's episode proved I am gone on Bucky Barnes because even his animated form is handsome as hell. Yeah, but we knew that, mate. We knew that. We knew that. You're secretly trouble. Well, you're not secretly trouble. You're openly trouble. Noob says, I get the feeling Cross might do something graphic. Maybe he might do somewhat of a mandible claw on Jeff Hardy. I don't think he's ever done a mandible claw before, so I don't really see the purpose of that when he already has his own submission move. Chloe says, BT Sport always lags for me as well. Sorry to hear that. And yeah, I'm having that exact problem. I'm on PS4 as well, so I don't understand why it's not working. The PS4 is not even going crazy and like the fan going crazy. I don't know. Yeah, as Craig is saying there, BT Sport on PS4 is straight up awful. Was grateful when I got a Chromecast. Maybe that's what I need. Turn the pad on. There it is. Maybe that's what I need. I need to change it up in some way because this is ridiculous. It happens 7 or 8 times every show. I'm just missing things. Considering my job is literally to review these shows and talk about these shows, it's kind of awkward when I can't watch the damn shows. Especially when it's Raw, and I'm not that interested anyway. There's the issue you've got more than anything. Raw is an okay wrestling show. Okay is not good enough for me. Can you work now? Can you work? No, sorry, there's a problem. Too many live streams running at the same time. I've literally just restarted. He says it's a BT issue as well. It's infuriating. And now it's working. I haven't closed any live streams, but now it's working and I've come back on another commercial break. Technology. Is the match good, guys? Is the match going well? Because I can't watch it, but if the match is going well, I'd imagine it is, but it will be. It's AJ Styles versus Matt Riddle. I'm always going to enjoy the idea of Styles versus Riddle. That's just one of those matches that should be so much fun. But we'll see how it actually is when I get into it. Kuro saying, as of 6:10 p.m. tonight, internal email was sent saying to have Becky Lynch sit down with Creative for a non-match appearance at SummerSlam. One of the spots being asked about is a setup spot. Okay. I'm very happy with the report that I made on Spoiler Warning earlier then. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Kuro. Also interesting that you've timed it too, 6:10. Craig says, don't think I've watched Raw since Lashley's sisters. Lashley's really good now as well, Craig. He's really good now. It's an interesting little quirk, but yeah, there it is. Chloe says Riddle is one of the best things on Raw, and he has been for a while, to be fair. Since RK Bro, at least, he's been incredibly compelling. But he's one of those. He came up from NXT, and he's been involved in just good stuff since. They've given him good stuff to work with. Bailey is asking what we mean by a setup spot. I'd imagine setting up a feud or the beginning thereof. Moxie says SmackDown has a little bit of wrestling and lots of promos. That is why it is so good. Raw just has wrestling and bad promos from Lily. I forgot about Lily. Thank you for reminding me of that. It's going to be horrible. Kuro says set a spot for those who don't know is when a superstar walks out and just looks down at the ring at whoever just won the title after a title match. I think the problem here is Nikki Cross. I think the problem is Nikki Cross. Which suggests Rhea Ripley might be winning the title back. I don't know. Not many possibilities. Megan says, trying to think how far back that whole mess was with the sisters. That's when he first came back. So I think it was 2018. It's hard to tell. Lots happened since then, but I think it was 2018. Quick says, I watch the pay-per-views. It's only Impact I can watch weekly. I get you. I completely get it. SmackDown's a really good show right now. Roman Reigns is probably the most compelling character in wrestling. But Raw isn't. It just isn't. Michael said, I once thought Nikki was retaining, but now I'm unsure. I get less sure every day, mate. Less sure every day. Dylan says, going to go play some games with some friends here shortly, so I'm heading off. Have a great stream. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for coming in earlier as well. Thank you for the support as always, and have a great night, mate. Around May 2018. Yeah, he came back just after WrestleMania. I remember that. So May makes sense. Completely get it, Kuro. Just to be clear, though, you don't have to share this information publicly. You've chosen to share it in a stream. I respect that. But you could always just send it to me privately on Twitter or here on Twitch. And then we can find out a way to keep it as quiet as possible. Whatever works for you. Mr. Impact says, Reigns and Deonna Purrazzo are two of my favorite champions in wrestling right now. Deonna Purrazzo is delivering so hard. Since she was released, she's just dominated the field. It's been absolutely incredible to watch. Reigns, of course, as we know, is Reigns and he's really delivering. Do I think Orton and Riddle versus Styles and Moss were made official today or not? Yes, I do. I think it might take until near the main event, but I think it very much will. I also think, looking at the advertisement for the 2-on-1 handicap match, that we may have that match made official with a Punjabi prison around it. Megan says, Nikki and Charlotte both have new merch, but nothing for Rhea, which seems odd. Yeah, it's usually a good indicator of how firmly the company is backing someone. If there's no merch for them, they're not really backing them at all, are they? Nice reversal into calf crusher. Megan says, Deonna sticking 2 fingers up to anyone who doubted her potential, and she does it every single match as well. That is deserving of credit. Calf crusher is locked in. The lovely reversal. Riddle selling very hard. Very hard. And gets to the bottom rope. That's done the damage. No, you're right, Craig. Orton did turn on Riddle. Riddle came out and said, I forgive you. Let's be a tag team. And that's basically where we are now. Wasn't a bad promo by any means. I think it's very fitting of Riddle to walk down and be like, yeah, you tried to murder me. It's all good. I can see that with Riddle. Oh, that was a firm knee. Exploder suplex into the corner, which AJ Styles is very familiar with. Used to get a lot of that from Kurt Angle. Riddle is going up to the top rope. You've got Omas there. Trying to distract. Don't get distracted. It's too late. He's got distracted. Moxie says Sasha and Reigns are going to be the best match of the night on Sunday. Bobby is going to be the worst. Sasha Banks versus Roman Reigns would definitely be a fantastic match, I'll tell you that. Megan says, just as we were talking about Shang-Chi, the premiere is happening right now, which is a nice coincidence. Did not realize that. Something for me to look into. AJ Styles has beaten Matt Riddle due to a distraction thanks to Omos. Randy Orton did not help. It's not often someone gets pinned by the Styles Clash either. Not often, but there we are. Yeah, Randy Orton left. Yeah, Moss really wasn't doing much. Riddle let himself get distracted there. He could have done a lot better. Could have focused. He says AJ Styles can pull off a better Styles Clash when he was in Impact Wrestling. So you're suggesting he might have been more athletic before he was 40? Don't think that's really surprised, mate. What the hell was Charlotte wearing last week? What on earth is that? Also, it's see-through. No, but seriously, what the hell is that? Okay, so more push towards a triple threat. Waving the championship about. People in the crowd seemed very happy to see Charlotte Flair with the championship again. Yeah, Nikki Cross not getting a lot of love. I wanted to hear if there was a cheer or a boo there, but BT Sports crashed again. It's all right, mate. Raw's not PG, particularly the last hour. I wouldn't worry about it. Wouldn't worry about it. Charlotte fresh off the return from Triple Mania. Yeah, she had a great time. She had a great time. Chloe says, I think Charlotte has been more overpushed than Roman ever was. Championships, I agree. WrestleMania main events, Roman definitely took the cake. But at the same time, I do think they're basically on a par. It depends if it depends on your view of overpushed, really. Charlotte's been pushed since day one. Roman's been pushed from day one. But I think Charlotte's impact on the women's division was greater than Roman's, personally. Okay, that Nikki Cross basically told us the script. I am confident that I can wrestle a wrestling match. It's not working for me. There are boos there. They turned them down quick, but there were boos there. I feel so bad for her. She doesn't deserve it. She really doesn't. Seriously, again, you've just started working. I think BT Sport just really hates Nikki. Not happy about it. I think that's what it is. Craig says Charlotte is arguably a great wrestler, but they need to pump the brakes on championship reigns. Yeah, they've gone pretty hard in on that. At least Roman Reigns got better promos and borderline broke the fourth wall. When he's told to. When he's told to, he breaks the fourth wall. Mara says, Tom, I found out CM Punk is in the new HBO show Heels. Yeah, he's been doing promos for that for a few months now. Actors do their own wrestling stunts. Yeah. Yep, that's not necessarily new information, Mara. That's been out there for a little while. Surprised you haven't seen it yet, but I'm glad you found it. You're still saying that I've got too many live streams running. Yeah. What is there not to like about Nikki? I think people are mostly booing the character. I do think that's the reason most of the boos are going on, but I still don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. In my opinion, Nikki would benefit from a mouthpiece. I don't think her promos are the problem. I think it's the character. I also think people just aren't willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and let it happen, which is rather a further indictment on them than Nikki herself. Moxie thinks Nikki's losing her belt. I personally am not sure. Bill says there was a sign on Raw saying "Not my hero." Oh yeah, that's not good, is it? Welcome back, Dominic. I know you miss the music. Once we do go live on Streamlabs on both Twitch and YouTube, then there may be some background music involved, but for now, not so much. Story is just Nikki versus Charlotte. Yeah, Rhea Ripley's just sort of there. Often forgotten about. I'm going to have to restart again because I've tried more than 10 times now to make this work. I don't know what to do if I can't get this working. Craig says, been a fan of Nikki Cross since she picked up Al Snow on British Boot Camp. I definitely haven't been a fan for that long back, but I've met and interviewed Nikki Cross, and it was absolutely glorious. She is so lively, so energetic, and just so fun that I really enjoyed it. Craig suggesting a mouthpiece or a hype guy. She's almost a superhero. She knows that one superhero fan that's always talking them up. So he's suggesting a sidekick, basically. So she's almost a sidekick. Is CM Punk signed to AEW? I've released a YouTube video on this as of Sunday, so yesterday. By all means, check that out. It's also got the music. Megan says, I stand by what I said before. I feel for Nikki, and I find it ironic that she's in this situation when a Money in the Bank case would have been the best way out, and I agree with you on that one. There were much easier ways to do it, but we are where we are. Maybe she was the wrong person to win the briefcase. Maybe she cashed in too early. Too many possibilities. Moxie says, I think Rhea is moving on to like Nia Jax to body slam her. It's not that impressive when Rhea Ripley does it, because ultimately Rhea Ripley's bigger than Nia Jax. If someone like Bianca Belair does it, different case. They are an NXT UK wrestler who is very, very popular and is also a complete cunt. Guru wants to bring Shane Helms back and pair Shane Helms with Nikki. Just go full hurricane. I don't know. I think that's more about Shane Helms than about Nikki Cross. And that's not good for me from where I'm sitting. Are we going to work now? I have audio. Okay. It's working, but how long for? Moxie says Shayna destroys Nia and Rhea writes them off TV then. I'll take it. I'm not naming names, Mario. I will not confirm or deny any names you give me. Craig says, when Liv Morgan is finally a champion, I might consider watching the TV again. I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Not because of a lack of talent from Liv Morgan, but because it's WWE, and I just don't think they'll ever actually give her the chance. I think they'll keep pushing the 4 horsewomen, and she'll leave. Well, that's good news considering I've missed most of it, Megan, but yeah, I do agree with you. This is basically just more of what we saw last week. We've got Nikki Cross now, who's down at the ring watching a recap of what happened 10 minutes ago. Do they really think we have such short attention spans that we need a repeat of that? Ideal knockout. Very possibly. I can see that working. I can see a lot of places desperate to pick her up. Kevin Patrick asking Matt Riddle, does rejection hurt? Yes. Why does the backstage interviewers have such terrible memories? Riddle's starting to grow a beard as well. Riddle's just sad. They cut in the music. Nikki Cross knew that she was supposed to lift her belt up. And here we are again. Goldfish memories, not wrong. Decent pop for Rhea Ripley. Mox says, Tom, do you think that Shayna is ever going to be the badass she was in NXT again? No, but I think she can still be used effectively if they decide to actually try. I just don't think they're actually going to try. Ripley responding to the crowd there. She seems to be feeling a lot better now that there's a crowd with her. Now that there's a crowd there is what I'm trying to say. He's much happier. Maybe they heard BT for throws for his rules. Maybe. I think Banks BA will be on SmackDown this week, just wondering. Yeah, I do. Noob says, not only that Orton sent people to AEW, but Riddle's now growing a beard. I don't think Orton sends anyone anywhere. I think that's just pure coincidence and the people they have him work with. Rhea Ripley very nearly overshot her turn on the ring apron there and fell off. I'd have enjoyed that. Not really, because I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley. But you know when you see someone fall and you just have a chuckle? Basically that. Okay, Nikki is literally just stood in the corner grinning. You should not be standing in the corner grinning. Charlotte Flair is already making her way out. My hope is that at this point, Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash unite to beat the ever-living shit out of Charlotte Flair. And that said, there is no denying that Charlotte Flair, as always, is an Amazonian goddess. I will always stand by that. Moxie says, I think Rhea's in the match to take the pin from Charlotte. There's a multitude of possibilities. I don't think Rhea Ripley is necessarily there to take the pin, but someone is, so. This is a very long entrance section. Didn't the previous match end like 20 minutes ago? Okay. It doesn't look like Charlotte's going for commentary. I do like that they turn the lights out when the bell rings now. Kuro, I believe the best way to describe it is whatever the hell she wants. Mug says, wouldn't mind Charlotte as champion. I don't think too many people would, except for all the people who would. Megan says, I didn't realize Charlotte was 5'10". Yep, same height as me and my sister. She is tall. And that's before you add the heels. In heels, she's taller than McIntyre. Good start of Rhea, just tossing Nikki across the ring. Playing the power game. That's definitely not true. Nikki's 5-0. In what? That's not a win-loss record. Oh, 5 foot. 5 foot. Yeah, she's quite small. I think she's slightly taller than Alexa, so she's 5'1", 5'2". Thank you very much for following Flores Riveros. Thank you very much for the follow. You'll get a notification for Spoiler Warning, the news show. And of course, you can join us for more of these watch parties. If you'd like, you can jump in the chat and say hi. We are an AMA stream. You can ask me whatever the hell you would like. And of course I can. I can send a greeting to your sister, Deborah Meltroza. Absolutely can. Greetings indeed, Deborah. Megan says, I'll say it again. The guy styling Seth Rollins also styles Charlotte. I think Charlotte basically styles herself. And to be blunt, the guy styling Seth, by and large, is Becky. Good times. Chris says, I forgot there's Lily stuff tonight. There's always Lily stuff. You can't get away from it. Rhea's 5'7", same as you, Megan. Fair enough. She looks even bigger, of course, because she's always wearing massive platforms. But yeah, still a very tall woman. 5'7" is quite tall. Yeah, looks enormous. I get that. Neither. She's a superhero. Yeah, definitely. There's no question there. But you've also got to account for the platforms in the boots. Rhea Ripley adds a fair few inches on for that. Larry Bongo, welcome back, says the crowd is totally dead for this match. It's not a great start, is it? It's not a great start. They're both always crediting King Troy in their posts. Oh, so it's literally the same guy. Fantastic. Well, there you go then. The shared obnoxiousness. But I do know that Becky and Seth do often flick through looking for horrible suits for him. Good times. That's what you want in a partner, really, isn't it? Someone who will dress you in the most ridiculous thing possible, intentionally, because it's funny. That's what I like. Craig says, saw a fan theory on Twitter of having Elias return as the Fiend, then the crowd would boo the house down. Yeah, they absolutely would. I saw that theory. It's a horrible thing. Bailey says, who's the tallest active women's wrestler? I'm pretty confident it's actually Charlotte. At least in WWE proper. There may be taller out there. There'll be some actual giants who are wrestling, but I think in WWE it's Charlotte. Oh! Megan says he's worked with Becky as well. I'm sure I saw his name in the maternity shoot they did. I did see that maternity shoot. To be fair, they look good. He must be quite the pro. We are 45 minutes into Raw. So far, we have just started our second match. Literally just started our second match. It looks like they're treading water quite a bit on the show tonight, got to be honest. For a go-home show, it's not really gripped me yet, is basically what I'm trying to say. Or at all. And it doesn't seem like it's going to grip me, let's be fair. I hope it does. But to be fair, I'm still hyped up on adrenaline from the show earlier on today. They brought us back from commercial. Straight into a pinfall attempt, which I like. Fans are wooing, that's true. Charlotte's right. Rhea's lifted up Nikki into a standing suplex, walking around the ring. There's a response. This is not a very good response. Jermaine is here. Welcome, Jermaine. Says, Tom, I wouldn't be surprised if Nikki Ash wins this Saturday night at SummerSlam, just so WWE can have a match between Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Ash for the Raw Women's title, with Alexa winning the title. I think that's genuinely a possibility. Oh, God. The WWE are announcing the debut of Moist TV. Not only that, but they're doing Moist TV during a women's match. Wait for better moments to do it. I hate the word moist. Kura says, if WWE had Elias return as a Fiend, we'd have December to Dismember 2.0. It would not be a fun experience for anyone involved. And we can all say that. Moxie says, I hope we don't see T-Bar and Macy are boring. Well, if you're bored of them, that's fair. I don't personally think we're going to see them. But if we do, it'll be to continue the Ali and Mansoor storyline. Are you bored of that? Frankie says, welcome, Frankie. They really need to have a draft. Roster is so bland. Raw needs Sasha, KO, Adam Cole, and some. I think Cesaro will be one of those. Adam Cole, I agree, will be going on to Raw, probably immediately after SummerSlam. And yeah, they need a draft. The draft is coming. Megan says, Raquel Gonzalez, I think, is the tallest still with the company at 6'0". Jazzy Gaber, alpha female, is just under 6'2". Tallest ever was Isis, who is 6'8", but she's retired. Stat Queen in the house, delivering all of the facts as per always. Megan, what on earth would we do without you? Megan says Nia Jax is also 6 foot as well. Wow. Moxie believes that Sasha is staying on SmackDown. I think she likely will. I think she'll be winning the championship at SummerSlam and then staying. However, not guaranteed. I do agree with that. I do think Rollins will be moving to Raw. And we've crashed again. Nikki Cross, as we know. And as Charlotte quite rightly pointed out, though, she almost won. She didn't win. She almost won. Noob, we were asked about active wrestler. There are many reasons that Charlotte is not an... There are many reasons that Chyna is not an active wrestler. But yeah, as Megan says, 5'11". Still very tall for the time as well. Chyna would fit in perfectly with the wrestling talent of today. Chyna versus Charlotte would have been such a good match. Rhea Ripley's big boots always look great, especially when they're against a smaller opponent. Going for the Riptide. Gets it. That's it. On the go-home show to a SummerSlam in which she will defend her championship in a triple threat, Nikki Cross lost clean to Rhea Ripley. That's supposed to be a face versus face match. Moxie says, I think Rollins might dethrone Bobby. I do not see that happening. I really don't. Yeah, Megan says, anything over 5'7" is considered tall for women in most cases. Like you said, you're 5'7" as well, didn't you, Megan? Noob wants Asuka to go to SmackDown. I think the trade was supposed to be Asuka for Bayley, but that's not happening now. And Craig says Savannah Evans is 5'10". Some very, very tall women. Very tall women. I am also 5'10", and I wouldn't say I'm a tall man. Oh, Nikki's lost her shit, and she's just trying to destroy Charlotte. That'll get people back on her side. Frankie wants to see Big E dethrone Lashley, which would be fun. No, we'll see. We'll see on that one. Oh, Rhea Ripley's joining in the beatdown. Charlotte's just taken a firm beating. I did mention that as a possibility. I'm excited by it. Nikki Cross now working with someone she just lost a match to. It says they should merge the Raw, SmackDown women's rosters. One title, I think. Too weak to have two. Disagree. The The rosters are great. The issue is the WWE isn't using them. There are plenty of people on that roster who could be involved. You've got Asuka. You've got Dana Brooke. You've still got Alexa Bliss. You've got so many people over on SmackDown. You've got Naomi there now. You've got Liv Morgan. You've got Toni Storm, who debuted and just hasn't been involved. You've got plenty on the rosters. Megan says, short in my family. Most of my family are over 6 foot, especially on my dad's side. Fair enough. Flashback to Saturday night. Oh, hey. Hey, it's S. It's S. Thank you for letting me know that my voice annoys you. Now, obviously, I never want to stop talking. Never, ever. Never and ever and ever. But no, seriously, I can't be arsed with you today. Just fuck off. Craig says, I think the last time I cheered Charlie is when she beat the holy hell out of Rousey. Good moments. Good moments. He's been blocked for a little bit. I'm on a high. I'm in a good mood. He can just he can chill for a bit. If he stays here for the 5 minutes that he's blocked, all credit to him. Give me the watch hours. Give me the watch hours. Jinder Mahal is talking to Veer and Shanky with a handicap match. They said it would have major SummerSlam implications. That's what they said. Major SummerSlam implications. I want something there. Drew McIntyre will be wrestling in our second hour draw segment. He's got his big rock again, which does not work for me. Frank says, I'd love to see a Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley tag team run. I think they've got enough about them right now that they don't need to tag, but I'm also not necessarily against it. Michael says, we've really no heels left for Bianca to face after SummerSlam. If she were to win, what would she do? I would imagine a Baszler or a Nia Jax will come over from Raw, and that will give her someone to feud with. And then after that, Naomi will likely turn heel and work with the Bloodline. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Absolutely, Craig. Helps the YouTube algorithm. And to be honest, as we're growing on YouTube, we are currently at 673 subscribers. We're growing at about 50 subscribers per month. It's incredible. And a large part of this is down to people who are willing to give us a watch time. And click the like, help with the algorithm. If S wants to stick around, all power to him. I can take a dislike because a dislike is still an engagement, which helps the algorithm. People don't really understand dislikes. Noob is hoping we're not going to get a Punjabi Prism match. It was clear. They said major SummerSlam implications. Nothing says major SummerSlam implications more. Nothing says it more than a Punjabi Prism match. But that does mean Drew McIntyre losing this handicap match. I can see it. I can see it. So this will be our second hour draw segment. Drew McIntyre versus Veer and Shanky. We have an NXT commercial. It's all about Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Craig says, over on my channel, every show we post gets a thumbs down. We know exactly who's doing it. It's always fun. I've gone through phases of that, yeah. I've gone through phases of that. It's just, it's funny, you know? It's funny. I always find it a good laugh. Bless them. They're trying. They're failing, but they're trying. Because the show on Twitch earlier today had an average viewership of 43, my overall average viewership from the month went from 13 to 15 in one show. So I'm just very happy about. Just very happy about it. So what do we think of the first hour? It's not been the most exciting, but it's been okay. The wrestling quality was all right. I don't think Ripley versus Nikki was a bad match. I actually quite enjoyed it. especially with a clean finish. And Styles and Riddle was very fun. The issue is, in total in that first hour, I think we got maybe 18, 16 minutes of wrestling, which isn't really good. Cora says, if you ever meet Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker, just remember he's 6'8". Yeah, he would be... it was bad enough meeting Triple H. Moxie says, Joe will destroy Cross. Yeah, yep. I don't see any reason that doesn't happen. Megan says, well, like the tartan on Drew's gear, there are Galloway and McIntyre tartans, which would be a nice touch. I was not aware of that, and that would be a good touch, especially considering he, of course, represents both of those names. I've seen Drew Galloway wrestle. Certainly seen Drew McIntyre wrestle. Well, I expect to see you wrestle soon, Kuro. Expect to see you tagging with someone like AJ Styles, who's, what, 5'7"? I think he's 5'7". I don't know if that's just stuck in my brain and I'm doing him a disservice, but I believe he's 5'7". Sometimes numbers do get stuck in my brain. I am OCD and I can struggle with that. What on earth is that, Ethan? Oh, you enjoy music? We don't have music, but I'm glad you're enjoying music. I get you. I might start talking to, there's a wrestler in the UK called Sheikh El Sham. Might start asking if he can give me some training. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? I could set a live stream up and it would literally just be a live stream of me training. I don't necessarily think it'd be the most engaging stream, but it could be fun. Gotcha, Kuro. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear it. Winger says, wheel spin, copy, paste. A woman being made to wait in the ring for a backstage Riddle promo again. Tease of old Nikki, Charlotte getting attention, and a beating and non-Drew. That's my take. Fair enough. Fair enough. It's a cynical look, but we're a cynical crew, and it's a cynical, deserving show. That's cool, Craig. Glad to hear it, mate. Let us know how it goes. We've got quite a few people who drop in and out of the shows who are training at the minute, and honestly, I think it's a great thing. I really do hope that you enjoy it and let us know how it goes. Dominic says, hi, Tom. Last question. What's going on with Big E Money in the Bank briefcase? They're essentially just trying to make it last for a little while. I do think Big E is going to be cashing in on Bobby Lashley. Moxie says, Tom, do you think you're going to bed early today? I don't. I'm not as tired as I was last week. Roy's not as dull. Also, to be honest, I'm hyped up from the show earlier today. So I'm feeling like I can easily make the next 2 hours. Feeling confident. Bailey says, over the weekend, Jerry Lawler wrestled at an indie show at 71. Does he or the promoter have to be insured for this? If he runs the promotion, no. If he doesn't run the promotion, yes. Corey says, I had a guy who thought it was funny in a match to keep going directly after my head after the ref said avoid the head. Great. World's full of dickheads. Drew McIntyre stood in the ring waiting for an MVP promo. For a Bobby Lashley Goldberg promo that I don't think anyone's that excited for. I don't think anyone's that excited for. Craig says, Gold is getting enough money into 8 weeks of flapbacks in the States. That, I believe, is Tyler Breeze, is it not? Tyler Breeze and what's he called in AEW? Chairman. Can't remember. Ty Dillinger. But yeah, that'd be a good school. Could be a lot of fun. Megan says, I'm grateful for TikTok during the ad breaks. Also looking at what I can do to boost my stream that doesn't involve me getting a personality transplant. Sean Spears, thank you for the reminder. I knew it was alliterative, but I didn't know how. Megan, I can give you some resources if you'd like that have really helped me. Some YouTube channels and some streamers that you can watch their videos and they give you a lot of how-to tips and growth tips. Literally, there's one, I started watching it, started tweaking a few things that they said, and I think that may be one of the reasons that my last month has been so successful. So I'll happily give you some resources that I've enjoyed there. Ethan says, it would be terrible if the match gets cancelled. Don't think it will, though. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I don't think it will, but can't guarantee it. We'll have to wait and see. As we know, it'll be McIntyre versus Mahal for SummerSlam. To be fair, we've known about that for quite some time. Thank you very much for the follow, The Big Tie. Just a real big tie. I don't have a tie to put on right now, but if I did, it'd be quite small compared to you because you're a real big tie. Welcome to the show. Feel free to ask any questions you would like. Feel free to say hello. We are an Ask Me Anything stream, so you can ask me whatever you would like. And because we have that element, you are also welcome to lurk if you would like to. That would be absolutely fine too. Hello, The Big Tie. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you. Moxie said Drew wants Goldberg to win. I don't necessarily believe that. So many wrestlers with ranged weapon names. Is Veer and Shanky a ranged weapon? Is there a weapon called a Jinder Mahal? Not sure on that one, Moxie. I honestly think Drew McIntyre wants to beat Bobby Lashley. He's just never really going to get the opportunity to do so, you know? We live and dream. Gotcha, Kuro. Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. Spears. Gotcha. Get over those names worse than Jake something. Not with you on that one, mate. Not entirely sure what you're saying. If you could reiterate, that'd be great. So Drew's starting well. This is a sort of handicap match where someone has to tag in and out. It's rare then. Nice suplex. Drew's trying to wrestle at a very high pace, which is the right thing to do. You got to keep the crowd hot. Shanky's coming in. And he is tall. I also have very big questions about his posture. And where he's going to do his back in. I remember when Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion. And the announce teams would be different depending on which region they were from. So when it came to Mahal, they would be celebrating him and calling him a face in comparison to everyone else. It was funny. I wonder if they're doing it now. Noob says, if you don't know who Jake something is, he's from Impact Wrestling. Fair enough. Not someone I know who he is. Although, I recently have been making up wrestling names, trying to make funny ones. So I've come up with the name Sometimes Johnson. He's a competitor in even bigger wrestling. Ed, if you're here, I am still working on that ridiculous concept that we were talking about previously. So yeah, so there is a wrestler I'm plotting out called Sometimes Johnson. I think it's a funny name. Right, we're getting to the point where we're having a few rest holds. Everything's chilling out. Everyone's calm. It's all good. Okay, McIntyre's starting to get the pace back up. I think it's very clear that Shanky's the guy who's going to get pushed out of this. What was the one guy's name? I remember WWE Stars Day and they went into a tryout and said their name was Muscles Marinara. I mean, it's funny, but it's a new one on me. Moxie said Drew versus Jinder will happen till the draft. I agree. I think the main reason we haven't seen a direct interaction between McIntyre and Mahal is because they're going to be wrestling for quite a long time. Craig said, I probably planned out my entire wrestling character and haven't had a single lesson. Same. Hopefully it pays off long term. You get the lessons and you start to really enjoy it and to be really quite good at it, because then go for it. Lovely receipt of the DDT by Veer with the roll through as well. Thank you, Flores. Thank you. Flores says, I love your direct greetings from Rosame El Fierro, Chile. Please let me know if I pronounced that incorrectly. I'm not great with a double R sound. I can't do a Spanish R. Any word on Adam Cole? Last I heard, we should expect to see him on Raw after SummerSlam. That's the last I heard, but that is a single source, okay? And I cannot confirm it at this time. Remember when Christopher Daniels was Curryman? I do not. Craig does. Craig celebrating that. Curryman. Interesting. Drew has the sword once again. Looks like he's about to start waving it around. Megan says, I wouldn't be a wrestler if I'm honest. Rather be a manager / mastermind character, although I wouldn't mind learning how to bump, maybe a couple of moves. As a manager, I think it's a positive to be able to take those few bumps, to be able to take a bit of a beating every now and then or get put through a table. I certainly would be interested in a managerial role, but I feel I would just be posh British Heyman, which I'm fine with. Ooh. Bailey says you could start a thread on worst wrestling name of all time. You could definitely do that. I might do that. Jim Evans and Richard Sartain, team called Ding Dong. That's who Bailey's talking to. When Amazing Red had Sukigira Sangriento. Wow. I don't think he's going to kill anyone, noob. I hope he's not going to kill anyone, noob. It's possible he's going to murder someone. Let's be honest. It's possible he's going to murder someone. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go on Twitter. I'll just ask exactly what you said there, Bailey. What's the worst name a wrestler has ever had? See what we get. I think Drew was trying to say humiliate there, but he said humiliate, which I kind of like. Drew's now putting over Jinder. Cheap pop and a bit of a boo. I see what you mean about the tartan, and I actually quite like it. I suspect he didn't get the choice. Well, it's not like you can ask if Drew McIntyre's going to win, because then people might start chatting yes. It'll be awkward. Corey says, I can tell you the worst one here on Twitch. No, it's not me. Megan says, Air Shaman with a sword, someone will probably get skewered. I thought for a moment there he was going to lift it so far in the air he was going to let go. That would have been awkward. Michael says he was also Stone Cold who came up with Fang McFrost. I don't believe he came up with it. I believe it was pitched to him. And yeah, it sucks. Mosh, also Charles Warrington, was once given the name Beaver Cleavage. I remember Beaver Cleavage. I particularly remember Beaver Cleavage. And then he's like, my real name is Chaz. That's not my mom. That's my girlfriend, Marietta. I think it's Marietta. Sonya Deville no longer wears sleeves on her suits, which means she looks great and tough. Charlotte needs a partner for a tag match. What, against Rhea and Nikki? Pick Sonya. Just pick Sonya. Do it. So who would tag with Charlotte Flair? Dakota Kai would tag with Charlotte Flair. Who else would tag with Charlotte Flair? Shayna Baszler, potentially. I know that you're already in a tag team, but that'll work. Maybe this is where Dana Brooke comes back into play. I'm feeling call-up. I'm feeling Kai. Who do we think Charlotte Flair's tag team partner is going to be, everyone? John Morrison is on his way down to the ring. Everything is slow-mo. The Miz is a guest for Moist TV. Damian Priest beat Morrison again last week. He's in a feud with Sheamus, apparently. You'd never know. You'd never know. If Charlotte teams up with someone on No Deal. Yep. Looking forward to that. Not sure who it might be, but here we are. Greg says, still remember when Alex Shelley was Baby Bear Alex Shelley. That's not a bad name. That makes me want to cuddle him. Megan says, do not be arguing with my variant wife, Charlotte. I have to slap you across the multiverse to slap you. Don't you be arguing. Don't you be arguing. Kura says, hey, Tom, remember the guy from ICP who's a wrestler? His name is Shaggy 2 Dope. I do. The Juggalo Championship Wrestling is still very much a thing. Hello, Alfie. How you doing, mate? Been a little while. How are you? I like that. Miz just shat himself last week. Basically true, yes. Shat himself and charged away. See, that I would have liked to see. We have a hype package for John Cena and Roman Reigns based on the conversation they had last week, which is, of course, one of the main reasons they did it. They're hyping up SmackDown like what's going to happen between Cena and Roman. They're going to have to get physical. They're going to have to. Surely at this point, Cena's getting speared. I remember Tugboat. I remember that. Yeah, absolutely, Alfie. Go ahead. Go ahead. Megan said pull apart brawl. I would love that. I keep saying I want them. And the thing is, it's a good thing that I don't get them because it makes them more special when they happen. But I also do still kind of want them. You said, I'm glad Miz didn't see the mere sight of Karrion Kross other than that Johnny Drip with a flashbacks to Impact Wrestling. There's some memories there. There's some memories there. Haven't seen Karrion Kross as of yet. There's still quite a lot of people who haven't made their appearance. Haven't seen Jeff Hardy or Karrion Kross. We've got a tag match. So Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross are doing double duty. I think there might be some people missing tonight. I really do. Alfie, I just want to clarify before I answer that. I'm just going to share my opinion. Please do not gamble based on my opinion. I think Drew McIntyre is going to beat Jinder Mahal. Even says, what would he mean if they didn't turn up on SmackDown? Just wondering. Who didn't turn up? If you mean Reigns and Cena, that'd be a hell of a weird experience. Because it says Stone Cold's names, Chili McFreeze, Baron Von Ruthless, and Ice Dagger. Ice Dagger's always the one that's going to get me. They tried to call Stone Cold Steve Austin Ice Dagger. What suggestions have we got? So we've got someone who said huge erection, fair. Dewdrop, fair. Jimmy Graffiti, T-Bar, and Festus. We have a second vote for Dewdrop. Someone actually said Dolph Ziggler. We have a vote for Red Rooster. We got Bastion Booger, which is also fair. They're rising, remember him? Dolph Ziggler again. Kenny Omega and Kurt Angle have been mentioned. I think I can give him that one. Michael McGillicuddy, fair. Doink the Clown has been suggested. We have a second for Bastion Booger. A lot of people really engaging with that one. And we have a lot of terrible names. Terrible names. Wonderful. Craig says Peter Avalon as North Fernham. Ugh. Banks and Belair this week. Well, if they didn't turn up to SmackDown, then there wouldn't be a wrestling match. That's all I can really say. Alfie said Sheamus or Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest will be winning it. Husky Harris is a good shout, Michael. A good shout. Jermaine says, hey, Tom. Yeah, Mike Johnson of PW Insider is reporting that people are expressing concern Sasha versus Bianca might not happen. We don't really have any actual information here. We don't. So honestly, from where I'm sitting, I'm expecting business as usual and that the match will happen. There's no guarantee of it, but that's what I'm expecting. It says Terry Taylor was a Red Rooster. His tagline was Poultry in... Oh, God. Poultry in Motion. And if you guys do have suggestions, by all means, do pop onto Twitter and throw some of these horrible names into the replies there as well. We have an Elias vignette. The wrestler named Amish Roadkill. Was that really a thing? Because that is fucking terrible. Okay, it looks like it's a replay of the Elias vignette from last week because he has an unburned guitar. I don't know whether this is supposed to be some big heel persona building. I don't understand. Honestly, I liked Elias. I don't think they needed to change him. Megan says you could literally pick any wrestler and chances are there'll be at least one terrible name in their past. Kevin Nash. Sparky Plug. Bob Sparkplug Holly. His whole gimmick was, I'm a race car driver. What a world we live in. Do you remember Blackjack Bradshaw? Good times. Imagine being the person who has to say the host of Moist TV, America's Moist Wanted. Why are there ducks? Hurricane. I mean, I don't mind Hurricane. Don't mind it. You think Miz will come down in the wheelchair? Yeah, same. So sorry for Mike Roma having to do that intro. Just incredible. Good call. I actually mentioned his name earlier when I got raided, and I was like, that is just incredible, but not just incredible. Just incredible's not here. Didn't we briefly have Maurice back for a little while not long ago? Whatever happened to that? The Miz rocking the Dalton Warbler attire? Megan says Morrison's giving me hair envy. Can never get mine to sit like that. I mean, have you seen the mess that I've got going on right now? I'm as jealous as you are. Admittedly, I was a Gemini. Bloody hell. Admittedly, earlier on today, I was kind of tearing my hair out in What the Fuck. I had a very, very genuine reaction. John Morrison does not seem happy. Do you think he's going to play annoyed at the wheelchair thing? A Moist TV chant, please don't do that. People have expectations of Moist TV. It's their first ever one. Hard-hitting questions. Morrison reminds me of a lot of wrestling journalists I know. Kuro, try and keep that from happening as best you can. There's your ding dong reference right there. Like it. It's possible, Moxie. Certainly worth questioning. Yeah, he wasn't a starring role in those, so it wouldn't be. So we are back. Damian Priest versus The Miz and Morrison. Get John Cena and Ted Jr. star in the first 2 Marine movies. They do. They do. Damian Priest, high expectations of him just being given the mic. This audio is sweetened to fuck. Morrison generally doesn't seem happy. Jermaine says, is Aaliyah supposed to be a babyface or a heel on Raw, and is Dakota Kai getting called up to SmackDown? I suspect Dakota Kai is being called up to Raw, not SmackDown, and Aaliyah has not been determined as face or heel yet. Craig says, found out the other day my family were WCW during the Monday Wars. Really surprised me since I don't remember them watching WWF. To be fair, I was a WWF guy, but the WCW show was a free one. So I definitely felt an affinity to it. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen yet, but certainly there's a little bit of groundwork going. Drama. I tell you, this is almost as good as a Dave Meltzer Ryan Satin argument. I remember GI, bro. Good times. Nobody's dumped anyone just yet, mate. Nobody's dumped anyone just yet. You've got to be careful not to chant yes too often. The Miz. How is it that this feud has been going on for more than 8 months? More than 8 months. The Miz is in a paddling pool. This is childish bullshit. I would actually say the same, Craig. What do you think is the worst wrestling TV crossover minus Booker, Steiner, and Bagwell on Charmed? They didn't even have any speaking lines. It was awful. It was awful. Also, they got beat up very easily. You said there better not be any zombies tonight. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Cannot believe we're at month 8. Month 8 of this feud. I am starting to tire, but there's only an hour and a half left, so that should be absolutely fine. Megan said I'd take the zombies over moist TV, honestly. To be fair, it's like moist bodies. What's the moisture? It was rotting, isn't it? And very much accurate. Well, we start to approach that halfway point. I'd just like to reiterate a few things. If you're currently watching on Twitch and you haven't clicked follow, please do remember to do so. It means you'll get a notification every time we go live. If you have questions, jump in, ask questions. If you would like to lurk, you are encouraged to lurk as well. I don't ask for subscriptions. Anyone who chooses to do so, you are welcome to do so, and I'll be grateful of that. The same with bits. All income at the moment from Twitch is going towards buying a streaming PC, and I'm currently sitting at $224 towards that. So a very good start, and that's so far this month. And if you're watching on YouTube, please do remember that you can subscribe to the YouTube. We do daily YouTube wrestling videos, lots of news you can't get anywhere else, and lots of analysis you won't need to go anywhere else for because you've got it there. In addition to that, we also do some live streams on both sides, not just these watch parties. We will also occasionally do emergency watch parties, which basically means emergency live streams. We did that for Bray Wyatt's release, for example. I was live less than 10 minutes after the news first broke, talking in detail about exactly what had happened, and that has been confirmed again and again and again ever since. So, if you'd like to keep your finger on the pulse of wrestling, click follow on Twitch, click subscribe on YouTube, and I promise you, you will not regret it. Coming up, our next streams will be on Friday. On Friday, we'll be doing spoiler warning at 10 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. EST. We'll be doing a SmackDown watch along. I'll be trying to see if I can find a way to watch Rampage, in which case we'll watch Rampage as well. And then on Saturday, a full stream for SummerSlam watch party. That means we will likely start an hour before SummerSlam doing the preview, and then the pre-show, the whole main show, and then wrapping it up after that. On Sunday, NXT Watchover. Ed Fries will be joining me right here, and we will be watching NXT Takeover together and with all of you if you would like to join us. There will also be a dual stream between here and YouTube. And then finally we get back around to Monday again, which is spoiler warning again, which is Raw Watch Party again. Busy weekend, busy week, keeping ourselves busy. Welcome to the show, Lauren. How on earth are you? I hope you're well. Unfortunately, yes, I did leave early last week. I was absolutely exhausted. I hope you all understand. Lauren is saying, imagine if WWE swerves us and gives us Orton versus Riddle. I did talk about this at the beginning of the show. I wouldn't hate it. All I can really say is I wouldn't hate it. Megan says, I think for now the only way to watch Rampage over here is on Fight TV. So I may get my 7-day free trial of Fight TV purely for this show. I'm sure no one can imagine why. It's a random show. It's just a random show that I may decide to get my free trial and watch. Yeah. Jermaine says, could this be the beginning of the end for Miz and Morrison? And if so, can we get Morrison to move to SmackDown and bring his wife with him? Possibly. I do think at the end of this, we will still have the same tag team. I think that's the situation we're in. Main Event of SmackDown was born. You do. Corey, could you try and rephrase that for me? I don't really understand what you're saying. Lauren's saying that why can't Riddle just listen? I find him annoying. Different people find different wrestlers annoying. Very true of everyone. Main Event of SmackDown was boring. You didn't miss anything. I watched SmackDown, mate. I watched SmackDown. Lauren says SmackDown SummerSlam isn't looking too promising. Did you hear that Sasha and Bianca may not happen at SummerSlam? I did hear that they might not happen. I also didn't hear any evidence as to why they might not happen. Genuinely don't. I'll wait for some actual evidence or more reports before I start to think as to what's actually happening there. But we did have something reported earlier on by Kuro. A bit of information came out there that you may have found very interesting. Michael says, I'm sure it has nothing to do with a certain chick magnet. Don't know what you're talking about. Unless you mean me. None of you sorry, Lauren. It happens. I missed a large part of last week. My favorite wrestling promotion right now is still WWE. I like what they're doing with SmackDown, even though it's dragged down by Raw. Cora says, oh dear God, I forgot WWE did a thing with Chucky. Yeah, it was bad. Wasn't as bad as WCW doing something with Chucky, but it was still bad. It was still bad. So we're halfway through Raw. So far, it's been all mid-card. All mid-card. Lauren says, match I'm looking forward to most is Edge and Rollins and Cena and Reigns. Is there a fatal four-way going on, mate? If you're going to pick one you're looking forward to most, just pick the one. And personally, you've got some good choices there. For me, it's Sasha Bianca. But basically, the entire SmackDown side of the card is just looking great. I think Morrison's an easier face than Miz, to be fair. Megan says, one thing is surprising me. We're halfway through the show and there's been nothing added to the card for Saturday. Not as of yet, no. I was expecting at least one show to be added to the one match to be added to the pre-show, but apparently not. Maybe Natalya will return and we'll have a tag team championship match. Morrison is generally just walking away here. Raw got the lowest ratings last week, even with Orton's return. SmackDown got the highest viewership. Yeah, but to be fair, SmackDown's on free TV and Raw is on cable TV. So there are reasons for that. Why is SmackDown better than Raw? Better writing, Roman Reigns, Sasha Banks, basically. Craig says Cena and Reigns should be great. It absolutely should be. But Edge and Seth, I love because there's a long-term story of it. They've got something good going on there. Seth and Edge have been doing very good things just by wrestling, just by fighting, just constantly fighting. It's good stuff. Chris says, can we all agree that WWE should never have the Muppets on any of their shows again? Nah. I'd love to see Roman interacting with Kermit the Frog. You are a puppet. What are you singing on my show? This is not the Muppet Show. This is my show. Be the same thing. Lauren, maybe. Lauren, maybe. I think at this point, Ric Flair's just going to flow everywhere. Sheamus cutting a promo. He will never surrender his gold. Feels racist. As an Irishman, it feels a little bit racist. I mean, it's not, but feels it. Some of the wrestlers are really struggling with saying this Saturday at SummerSlam, which I'm just finding very funny. Okay, now they've taken us to the Alexa Bliss segment. It's going to be awkward. Nowhere will ever match the Attitude Era WWE WCW. No one ever will. It'll never be recaptured. Megan says the only titles not on the card right now are IC, which is, yeah, that match has been moved off to save room. Raw Tag Team and Women's Tag Team by my reckoning. I don't think Natalya is cleared yet, so the only match I could see being added when you're looking at that, it's a Raw Tag Team match, but I also think we're going to see Alexa versus... I think they'll book it as Alexa versus Eva, but it'll be Alexa versus Doudrop. Austin Palmer is here. Welcome, Austin. Says, I hope when the draft happens, Shayna goes to SmackDown. I agree when it comes to that. Sheamus is losing on Saturday. I think he will be as well. Alexa's supposed to be a face. Not all Irish people are leprechauns, Noob. He's starting to look like a breakup, yes, Moxie, which is exciting. Gives them something else to add, another string to the bow, as it were. Ethan says Banks and Belair are still on the SummerSlam card, which is good. Yeah, they're both posted on Instagram and haven't suggested that there's any issue. So, is Miz and Morrison done? Maybe. Lawrence says get Eva off our TV. They are not doing that. Craig says I'm hearing rumors Fandango is of Impact. Any truth that you know of? At the moment, he can't have signed any contract. He literally can't have. He hasn't had time. So any rumors that you're hearing of someone signing somewhere, inaccurate at the moment. However, he may have been having conversations. I don't think that's impossible. Welcome back, Dean. So we have a commercial break and then it's another Alexa's Playground. And now I'm going to take this opportunity to take a quick break, pop to the bathroom, get myself a drink. If you're watching on Twitch, we'll have a quick ad break, which you won't see if you're a subscriber. But if you're not a subscriber, you will see a 90-second ad break. It's just a case of getting through those. That'll get me a little bit of income, and all you're doing basically is being there while it happens. If you're watching on YouTube, we do not have the ad break function, so I'll simply go to my pause page, and we will see you in a couple of minutes when I have a fresh drink and I've been to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. As you know, I'm Tom Collihew. I have a skull which cannot see on my windowsill. And I am a wrestling journalist and a streamer. I think at this point I have to call myself a pro wrestling streamer more than a wrestling journalist, to be completely honest with you. Dean, I don't know why you've just done a load of zeros, but please stop. Jermaine says, we're going to have a Eva Marie versus Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam. Why? Because that's the feud, mate. That's the feud that they're giving us. Dewdrop's there as a spoiler. That's the feud that they're giving us. But I am back. We are just over halfway through Raw. We know that we are going to see Randy Orton versus Omas. We know that we are going to see a tag team match with Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross on one side and Charlotte Flair and a partner on the other. I'm still hopefully thinking to go to Kai. It does look like we're seeing a Miz and Morrison breakup. And then we'll see what happens from there. Corey says, Tom, did you see what happened with Fuego del Sol? I did. Imagine DMing someone, calling them a liar. This is why we source our information, because every time someone in one of my streams says to me, oh, it's from Ringside News, my brain immediately goes, fuck off, because it's wrong. We are not Ringside News people in this chat. Miz and Morrison are having some disagreements. New Day have moonwalked out of Dodge. What on earth is happening now? Oh, God damn it, New Day. God damn it. It wasn't a breakup. Everyone's back and fine. Hurting for a squirting. Wow. And here's Alexa. So it's just immediately losing your credibility if you're ringside. They didn't have credibility to begin with. And I also have to ask questions, major questions, of a particular wrestling website in YouTube where they talk about wrestling, where they have bent over backwards to report everything that Ringside News say. Yeah, it was New Day, mate. It was New Day. Indeed. Excuse me a moment, I have something in my eye. Oh, sorry, guys. I think it's Lily. It's blinding me. Dewdrop's there to bully. And she's wearing the leather jacket that she's very well known for. Oh no, the doll's trying to freak her out. Grade A shit. Ming says, I don't care about what more Miz are doing right now. Give me more New Day in the background of everything. That may be their only appearance this week, to be completely fair. I would be very happy with more of them in the background. Lauren says, Goldberg and Lashley the main event. I'd imagine so. It makes sense for that to be the case. Mace and T-Bar are making their entrance, which suggests that we're going to see our third week in a row of Mace and T-Bar against Mansoor and Ali. No crowd reaction at all. I actually quite like the music. I quite like the music. Yes, it wasn't Big E, it was New Day. Without Big E. Big E's on SmackDown, remember? Buy it. Do it, Kuro. Have it. Yes, Piper Niven does indeed have a trademark leather jacket. I've described it here before. And all the pins she's got. The Spacebug one and the Spyro one always are ones that I've spoken to her about. Lauren says, Dewdrop deserves better. You're not wrong. Megan says, I just had a great idea for a storyline. Piper and Shayna go on separate warpaths through the women's division. Then we either get them facing each other or teaming up out of mutual respect. Yeah, I see no reason not to do something like that. I like final boss sort of feuds. And this ultimately is how we got to the Shield versus the Wyatt family. Both teams just destroyed everything along the way. The match will be Mansoor versus Mace, a one-on-one match. Slightly different. Orton Bliss, tweener or heel. Orton is tweener. Alexa Bliss is face. Like, genuinely, she's supposed to be a face. People don't care. It's been about an hour since I've had a crash, so I'll forgive it this one. Kuro says, main event, it was Cedric Alexander's birthday and he lost to Riker. Bless him. Bless him. Lauren says, watch Big E cash in on Lashley and go back to Raw. I think he orders slightly out. I think he goes back to Raw and then cashes in. But that's essentially what I think is going to happen. After the draft, I think Big E is going to be moving to Raw, and I think he'll be cashing in on Lashley. That makes the most sense to me. Early Survivor Series predictions. I don't think we're going to see Roman versus Bobby. I think we'll either see Roman versus Big E, or we'll see Lashley versus Balor, and then they will lose the championship again shortly afterwards. That's one of my early predictions. We're potentially looking at Priest versus Nakamura, so that's good. A tweener is someone who gets a mixed reaction from the crowd, but is supposed to get a mixed reaction from the crowd. Essentially, they are a face when they are facing a heel, and they're a heel when they are facing a face. They fit the element that they're competing against. Yes, I do. I do think Naomi will join the Bloodline. I think she'll be quite good there. Megan says Raw v SmackDown v NXT, with NXT getting hammered in the scoring because of reasons. I don't think NXT is getting anywhere close to Survivor Series this year. I really don't. I do want to say a quick thank you to everyone who is watching at the moment and everyone who may be watching on catch up. When I started the day, I had 286 followers. I now have 315. We're literally one away from 316 and gaining 30 in one day. That's the world we live in now. I'm very happy with that. Huge thank you to everyone. Do I think Balor will dethrone Roman? No. But there's a number of ways this can go. Either Balor loses to Roman, Balor loses to Roman, Balor loses to Roman, Roman takes on Bobby Lashley, gets on with his life, or Balor loses to Roman, Balor loses to Roman, paints himself, beats Roman, doesn't paint himself anymore, loses to Lashley, loses to Roman, loses the championship, we all move on with our lives. It's Finn Balor on the main roster. He's a loser. That's the rule. Not until he paints himself. Heels are always more interesting, I find. So I've always been a Triple H fan. Maybe they just want to take more time with it, Lauren. Lauren said if Orton or Riddle or Styles isn't in a match at SummerSlam, there's something wrong. I largely do agree, and I think the match is still going to happen, but they could just be trying to be a bit more patient with it. It's not outside the realms of possibility. Yeah, that's heavily rumored, Lauren, and very, very likely at this point. I feel very safe that that's exactly what's going to happen. Wish I hadn't been spoiled, but we are where we are. Megan says, how many backup plans do you think WWE have if they can't get Rock in to face Roman next year? 2 or 3. They never get too many, but 2 or 3. Do you think the Demon will stay undefeated? Yes. And in order to make that happen, Finn Balor will be the biggest loser in the damn company. Lauren says, Triple H is getting blamed for WWE's downfall. He's not getting blamed for WWE's downfall. He's getting blamed because he set up NXT in a way that is not what WWE want. For more information on that, I do have quite a bit of information on YouTube that you can check out. Austin says, Riddle and Orton remind me of Kane and Bryan. I think they're kind of supposed to. It may be that they've got the exact same creator. We just got a TikTok ad. The WWE are trying to take over TikTok at the moment. It's a weird experience. Mansoor heading down. Will Ollie be with him? Because he doesn't technically have to. Lauren has asked, when do you think Cena will get his 17th title? Never. I don't think he will ever get a 17th title. I don't think he wants it. Moxie, I'm not sure. We're talking about backup plans for something that's going to happen in 8 months. I know Survivor Series is close, but it's only built to WrestleMania. The match won't actually happen until then. In 8 months, a lot can change. I really can't say. Baylor says, who would you want to see as WWE's next big signee? Brock Lesnar. After SummerSlam, negotiations will pick up again for Brock Lesnar. He was offered the opportunity to come in at SummerSlam many times. He said no. He'll be returning shortly afterwards. Megan says, I don't know if it went through earlier, but Survivor Series and the following Raw has been confirmed to be to the updated event list on the Barclays Center website. Cool. Fantastic. Lauren, that depends. NXT was not created to entertain fans. NXT was created to develop the next stage of WWE talent. As such, NXT is a colossal failure. So NXT is not doing awesome. NXT is failing. Says rumors are Nikki Bella is appearing at SummerSlam. That has come from Nikki Bella saying, what should I wear for SummerSlam? There aren't actually rumors. There's just a lot of people speculating. Lauren says, someone will beat Rick's record. It has to be someone. It does have to be someone. It will be Charlotte Flair. Been saying that for years. Megan says, very careful to avoid mentioning that Mansoor is from Saudi Arabia, or is that just me? It's not just you. It is intentional. That's why I say he's from Riyadh. They've been working very hard to avoid that because they think he'll endeavor a negative reaction, which he probably will. Probably will. Lauren, where on earth have you got that from? Can I ask your source for any of this information you're giving me? I agree it's a dream match. Leslie doesn't want it. Cora says if you watch Impact Emergence on Friday was moved, did not know that. And Moxie believes that Randy might beat Rick's record. Certainly possible. Randy's at the on the run of his life right now. But I think Randy, much like Cena, respects Rick too much to want to beat that record. He may equal it, though. Ugh. The Madden just dives, charges straight into it. I'll leave a bit of a cheat. Mansoor picks up the win. That was like a 1-minute match. I love Ali's hair. Has he got new conditioner or something? Lauren says, watch Becky return at Royal Rumble. She's returning before that. She's returning considerably before that. Cora says Emergence was supposed to start at 10 p.m. EST, but Impact doesn't want to compete with Rampage. Moved it back to say, okay, gotcha. It's an opinion as to why they've changed it. Have they said they don't want to compete with Rampage? If Brock was going to beat Bobby, would he do the match? Yes. Any retirement you see coming soon? No, not really. Maybe The Undertaker? But then he'll still come back. Yes, the hour I said. Got it. Okay, well, fair enough. Omas is cutting a promo. It's a very simple one, clearly scripted for him, but I like it. I love AJ Styles. He's my favorite. That's exactly where I just went, Megan. Megan says, I need to know what the men of WWE are using their hair because I'm getting some serious envy. Ali's hair was luscious. Luscious. For our third hour draw segment, we will have Randy Orton taking on Omos. I don't know if Randy's going to win this. Lauren wants to see an RKO on Omos. Noob thinks Omos has the best voice. I kind of get what you're saying there. And Megan says, I can see no wrestling show wanting to go up against Rampage this week because chances are they're going to lose by quite a bit. I think everyone's going to be watching Rampage this week. It's just such a bop. So we will head into our final hour with Randy. Raw's been okay so far. Still feels disjointed, though. There's no coherent storyline going through it. It's not like SmackDown, where you can start something in the first hour, right at the beginning, and you're not bored of it by the time you get to the end of the second hour. Corey Graves has just pointed out that Omos is undefeated. I can see that continuing. You can also see that we're about to get a commercial break. We're getting a commercial break. Is it not happening? There's a break. They do take their time, don't they? Let's have a look. Megan says, Randy's not giving me hair envy, but he's giving me tattoo envy. You could have the combination. You don't have to be all Randy. You don't have to be all Randy all the time. No. You guys know what I'm saying. Bailey says, Rampage will likely be the ceiling for AEW viewers. I do agree with that. But the casual WWE fans watching on SmackDown probably have marginal interest. I do think this is going to be a show where they say, we can compete with Raw and SmackDown because they'll get a great rating. I don't think they'll get the same rating the week after. You know? It'll be what it is. Megan says DQ finished to protect them both and set up the match for Saturday. I want to see Randy Orton get pinned. I'm going to be completely honest. I want to see Randy Orton get pinned. New says, I can't take Styles seriously after his match with Riddle. Like Moron Killer, it's weird. I need to remind everyone who's in that storyline that Impact Wrestling and embarrassment the Claire Lynch storyline. You don't need to remind everyone of that. You don't. He's AJ Styles. He's the best in the world. Kura says, all of the stuff in the WWE Champion travel package is still happening. So I think I'm maybe at the reception-style dinner with Superstars on Friday and on the High Roller Observation Ferris wheel. Interesting. Take some pictures, mate. Have a great time. Megatron has arrived and just shouts my name at me. Welcome, Megatron. How the devil are you? And Lauren says, I actually want to see Riddle turn heel on Orton. That would kind of work, but it's Randy Orton. He can't be out-heeled. Supposedly. Supposedly Undertaker and Kane are retired. Moxie says, Tom, if you were to wish for someone to be champ, who would it be, male and female? I'm very happy with the champions we've got now. Like, genuinely. Someone who's never been a champion or something like that, I'd immediately be giving a belt to Dakota Kai or someone like that, but I don't know. It is what it is. It says Rampage did 700 plus and a 0.3 this week. SmackDown did 2 mil and a 0.58. Yeah, and I genuinely think no matter what result they get, AEW are going to be legacy marketing this as the best number ever. That's what I expect. Disagree, Lauren. Disagree. There are viewer numbers, Kuro. There are. They are a thing. And usually a pretty good guide. Although this week, so many people getting excited. SmackDown it did a 2.5. No, I didn't. BT having another crash. Thank you, BT. Yeah, there are a lot of problems with viewership numbers. I don't want to go too deep into it, but it's not a good system. Thankfully, the TV stations don't always need Nielsen. They can get actual numbers. It's just that we don't know what those numbers are. And that's the thing. When a TV company comes in and throws billions and they have access to the numbers, it's better than us who only has access to the Nielsen ratings. One of them's real. One of them kind of isn't. We have a Goldberg high package. He's not a Goldberg. That'd be weird. That was Paul White getting speared. That was Paul White getting slammed. Scott Hall. It was Hogan. There will never be another Goldberg. People just don't have the patience for it. Ed says, okay, everyone, off to bed. It's been a day. Congrats, Tom, on the massive stream earlier. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that. You head to bed. You have a great night, mate. And I'll see you. We'll catch up as usual, but I'll see you on Friday, mate. Kura says, most TV stations companies are removing viewership numbers, or at least they are in Canada. Yeah, they're hiding them. Megatron says, how the devil are you? Doing pretty good, mate. Had a really good show earlier. Still sort of riding that wave of momentum and having a great time. Bella says, not as much is made of AEW salaries versus what WWE talent makes. What's the range of Punk's possible compensation? Now, I don't have exact figures. I don't think I ever will. But essentially, he's in 7 figures very comfortably. Adam Cole will be getting a fraction of what CM Punk is getting. Austin says, who can Lashley face next if he beats Goldberg? Basically anyone on Raw. Maybe Matt Riddle again. Maybe Randy Orton. Maybe Omos. Maybe Braun Strowman. Kura says, November or December this year, it will be considered a privacy violation for a TV station or company to keep any record of individual homes' TV viewing habits. Yeah, they will use viewership figures. It won't be based on the individual TV viewing habit of a of an individual. It'll be just a generic number with no basis on where the numbers come from outside of the initial report. Also, it'll be, I believe, to save them rather than to just have them. I want to click that and get rid of it, but it's not giving me the option to. Yeah. Anyway, crashed again. Going through a mare at the minute. No, don't do this. Don't proper crash. It's proper crashed. You know what sucks? This. Okay, restart my PS4 for the 4th time. BT need to sort their shit out. Michael says, looking at Dakota's Instagram, she looks to be at home with her dog, so she won't be Charlotte's tag partner. Who else is there? Like, genuinely. Who else is there? I can't see Io Shirai tagging with Charlotte. I just can't see it. Unless it is a Baszler or a Jax. It just doesn't make sense. Maybe a Reginald. Who can tell? Who can tell? I was going to say Candice LeRae, but obviously that's not happening. Right. Let's try and get this PS4 working and get BT Sport going. I think I accidentally just turned it off. Yeah, I did. It's supposed to be a restart, but not to click the wrong button. So I'd imagine there's a Randy Orton and Omas match happening right now. I can't see it. Hopefully I can get this working. Right, now, BT Sport, you're going to behave? You're going to behave? You're going to behave? If not, we're going to have words. I don't want to do that to you. It's rude. But you could just behave. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me? Come on. Come on, BT Sport. Come on. I think I need a dog. Something to just take the nervous energy. Right. Work. It's working. We also haven't seen Karrion Kross and Jeff Hardy yet. So we've got this match, the women's tag match, and Karrion Kross, Jeff Hardy. And then we have Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. I think we're all set, really. I enjoyed that from AJ Styles saying squeeze it like a grapefruit. Orton's selling very strong. Which tells you a lot about who he's working with and the respect he has for them. Do you think almost gets water for the veterans like Leo Rush was always accused of not doing? Let's go Randy chant. They have mic'd this audience way up. Almost took a long run up for that. This is going to be a slow Roman Reigns style match, isn't it? Again, a slow run up. And he just keeps running into those posts. It's a classic story of big man beats himself. The RKO reversal literally sent him all the way out. Not sure why I've mentioned that, Moxie. The Fiend's no longer with this company. Styles took an opportunity to throw a kick. Yep. You were right, Megan. You were right. Mate, the Fiend didn't make Orton a babyface. Orton was getting cheers when he was feuding with McIntyre. Orton's getting attacked now by Styles and Omas. I'm waiting for Matt Riddle. Or, better storytelling, no Matt Riddle. Okay, Orton is back in the ring. A lot of Roy's War t-shirts tonight. I like that. There's an RK Bro chant going on. Sometimes you just got to bow your head to a master. And then break it down. Sorry, guys, one sec. Into the crowd. And literally, as I say that, BT Sport goes again. Oh, why does nothing work? It's hard to run a watch party when you can't watch it. I think this is the worst it's been. Come on, just work. Just give me that. Okay. Orton's still getting a bit battered. Maybe he does need Matt Riddle after all. It's almost like he's here to learn a lesson. Riddle just dodges Styles. Just needs to hold his ground now. Right you are, Austin. Right you are. Riddle for the save. I love how Styles goes over a top rope. Styles is just doing a lot of comical falling. Styles needs him. Omas has to drop back. Good work, Shana crowd. Like it? Like it? I know Moss is carrying Styles all the way backstage. This is the point at which Orton needs to get up and give him a hug. He has to. It's in the rules. Orton's convinced. We'll get in the match at SummerSlam. We're definitely getting the match at SummerSlam. Orton needs him now. Go on, Randy. Say sorry. Say sorry. Nobody believes you, Randy. You know, we all know how it's going to go. Again, it's crashed. It's probably quite a good promo. Couldn't tell you. It's down again, insufferable. Do you just want to work? Just for once? You can do it. You guys literally just watching me talk to a TV at this point because it's not working. Right, so restart 5 are coming. Restart 5 are coming. Sorry, guys, bit of a shit show happening right now. If I can't get it working, I'll just have to stop early. I don't want to do that. I'm still buzzed. I'm still energetic. I'm still raring to go. I haven't hated this show. Let's try and get it working one last time. And hopefully it'll work out. Okay, PS4 is loading. Let's see if BT Sport wants to play. To be fair, I'd imagine right now all I'm missing is a commercial break because the promo segment will already have been through. I do not, Kuro. No idea. I usually check it on the day, to be honest. All right, loading BT Sport. Cool. Thanks, Kuro. I agree, Megan. It's been a standard Raw. It hasn't felt go home in any way. It's just felt like the same thing we get every single week because it's the same thing we get every single week. Why is Randy Orton? Nope. Why is Jeff Hardy still with the WWE? Does he come out looking good at anything? Naturally, big pop for Jeff Hardy. Apparently Jeff Hardy wants to fight Cross. Okay, Kuro, cheers for that. Okay, I've had another crash. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm getting really quite pissed off with this a minute. Technology's not working. I struggle to be able to say I can do this and fix this because this is just getting worse. Trying it again. I'm crossing my fingers. And it's not loading. I'm done with this. So, guys, with the way BT Sport's been operating, I think in the last 15 minutes, I've been able to watch maybe 2 minutes of the show. And it's getting worse. So, unfortunately, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it there. Hope you all understand that I can't fight this thing the whole way through because I've got nothing to actually watch and react to. It is 3:15 in the morning. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up bright and early in about 5 hours, ready for my day job. But I'm going to head off. And I'm going to say thank you to everyone. And sorry for the technological issues, but I'm going to call it there. Thank you, everyone, for the company. Thank you, everyone, for the damn good shows. Thank you, everyone, for just being your awesome selves. I managed to enjoy this Raw because you guys, as always. And hopefully in future I'll be able to set up technology a little bit better so that we can, once I've got a streaming PC, it will run smoother because I can at least upload it on the PC and just have two monitors and stream and watch at the same time rather than this system. So I've been Tom Collihew. My next stream will be on Friday. That'll be spoiler warning. And we'll be streaming twice on Friday, once on Saturday, once on Sunday, and twice on Monday. So it'll be 6 streams over 4 days. You'll get plenty of Tom Collihew content there. In the meantime, thank you, everyone. And I do wish you a good night.